Welcome back to the channel, guys. I know it's been a while with uploading a video, but once again, I was being busy with life, working and all. But here I'm showing you that I just recently purchased this STI here. So with this STI, to start off, it is a 2020 STI in Lapis Blue. It's funny how this kind of came about. So finding this STI, it's the color, like it's what I've been wanting, and that's why I previously wrapped my 2013 STI in this similar color. So when I was looking around, locally, I was able to find this one that was about 2 hours away. There was other STIs I was looking around, and they were probably at least 3 hours away. But finding this one, it did have some tasteful mods, even though it is pretty much stock under the hood. But some of the cosmetics and aesthetics is what kind of drew me to this 2020 STI. Not only that, but the other ones I was looking at were like 2017, and they had about the same miles on the car. So I bought this one, and with that being said, I feel like if I would have bought the other STI that was just completely stock, like no aesthetics, even the wheels and all, I think I would have probably spent maybe more or just the same amount to what I spent on this STI. So, but other than that, let's kind of go ahead and take a look on everything that I've seen on this car or noticed that the previous owner had done. We'll start off in the engine bay. There was a couple things I was able to retain from my previous STI. I was able to get the carbon fiber alternator cover there, so I decided to install that. The Perrin strut tower brace there, I retained that from the other STI, and also the Grimspeed cap set, the power steering, brake, clutch, master cylinder there, the windshield wiper reservoir, the oil cap. I didn't retain the coolant one. I plan to maybe get the Cobb overflow tank, so that'll eventually come with the cap itself. But other than that, it just kind of cleans up the engine bay with the yellow. But other than that, everything is kind of stock. I do notice the previous owner did install the IAG AOS, so real smart of him or her who did that. So that's nice there. Also got the Cobb bypass valve installed. Fully recirculating is what I noticed. Intake is stock, of course. Other than that, I think from what I can see, everything just looks original. So nothing else that I feel like I should be worried about. I haven't done my first oil change yet. I mean, obviously when I bought it, the car already had an oil change. But one thing I'm hoping for is maybe they swapped out the oil pan or whatever with the Killer B one or maybe the IAG one. If not, that'll probably be one of my next mods I'll do for this car, just to kind of keep up with the reliability. Going over to the front of the car, the bumper here, looks like they got the carbon fiber grille there with the STI badge. I don't know what brand it is, but they did that there. Down below, looks like they installed the STI OEM spoiler or lip kit there. But other than that, that's pretty much it as far as the front bumper goes. Now with the STIs or the 2019 and up, they opted out for the fog lights there, and I don't know why, but either way, I did purchase the bezel kits. That'll be a turn signal and DRLs along with the fog lights. So that is something I'm looking to do with this car to just kind of complete the front end. Not only that, but I do like the fog lights on a car, so that'll be a little project there. I have to run some harness or run the harness through and all that. And other than that, yeah, that's the next step for the car right now. Going over to the side, one of the things I noticed was it did come with the wheels. The previous owner had left the wheels on this car. So the wheels that are on this car right now are the Rays Gramlites 57 DRs. They are 19 inches, so they kept that factory, how they usually came with the car, 19-inch wheels. I think the specs are 19 by 8.5 plus 38 offset. Tires are brand new, of course. What else here? I did swap out my previous lug nuts onto this car. The other ones that were on this car were just black, and they were kind of rusted out a little bit. So I decided to swap those out, clean it up a little bit, along with the Project Kicks hub setting rings there. Excuse me. And yeah, that's pretty much that I swapped out for the wheels there. And it looks like the previous owner also installed drill rotors on the car. Another thing I noticed with the car is it sits a little lower. I looked under there and it looks like they have the teen lowering springs there. They're green, so I'm assuming those are teens. It looks like it gave it a little bit of a drop, but not too drastic where I have to worry too much about going up the driveway or dips in here and there. So nothing's rubbing, so that's good. The fenders aren't rolled at all, so nothing, like I said, it isn't rubbing, no scrapes here and there, so ride's real nice. I feel like it's a little bit stiff when I'm driving on some little bumpy roads. It's, it bounces pretty hard, but other than that, I mean, I'd rather have that than worry about kind of scraping or rubbing, the tires or wheels against the fenders. Another thing I noticed, they got the carbon fiber little overlay on this lower part of the mirror there, along with this turn signal, the smoke turn signal here. I was curious because I was doing some research, and I think since these are aftermarket, I've seen that these can function as DRLs also. So I pulled off the cover and I noticed there was a white wire that was just wrapped up in there. So I was watching some videos how to do all that. So I ran that through the door and tapped that into a harness that was in there. So now these lights will function as DRLs when the car's on or not. And then obviously the turn signals, they flash, sequentially. So that's kind of what I did also with the car. Going into the rear here, I noticed they installed these Perrin wing stabilizers. To be honest, I'm not much of a big fan of them. I don't know, I just feel like it's just too much for me. But for now, I guess we'll just leave it on. I don't want to deal with having to take it off. Since they are double-sided tape, I know it could be kind of a pain to remove. But for now, we'll just leave them on the way it is. Looks like they did the rear emblem here. Swap that out, different color. Down below, they did do the third brake light here, so that'll flash sequentially as you step in the brake. And then what I noticed also down below here in the diffuser area, they did the carbon fiber finish there on the exhaust. And then the exhaust is actual AWE catback. Now, I don't know if it is the track edition or touring edition or whatever, but I'm going to go with the touring just because I feel like it doesn't really drone much on the highway when I'm driving. Slight rumble, which is nice, and compared to my 2013 STI, yeah, definitely not as loud as that, which I think I'm starting to enjoy this better than that. I mean, able to hear my music and all when I'm, driving around town or on the highway. Another thing on the outside I noticed, these front windows aren't tinted compared to the rears and the back there. So I'm planning to match whatever percentage that is to the fronts here, which I'm assuming they're pretty dark, so maybe 20%. And then also with the windshield, I think I'm going to do at least 35%. And I'm planning to do the ceramic tint, so that'll kind of help out, with some heat and all that, but also keeping it slightly dark there, but not too crazy. So that's another thing I'm planning to do. But let's go ahead and check out the interior of the vehicle. So what I first noticed when I went for a test drive in this car the first time is the seats. That really grabbed my attention. Even the Alcantara on the car here, they got this padding here in the little armrest area. Seats have a combo or combination of the Alcantara and the leather with the red leather there. So let me step in here to kind of show you around. The radio is, obviously stock. It does have CarPlay there, so that's another nice feature, along with the center MFD screen there. You can kind of scroll through different modes and it'll tell you like well, they have like a gas trip and all that, your mileage. There's a boost gauge, several different options there. Let me turn on the light here, but was able to retain the my radar detector there. Now with this one, it was a little bit of a different install. I actually had to tap that wire that was, well, there was a plug more inside this headliner, so I had to take off this, and then the plug was there. So that's how I did that, as far as tapping that into to make them work when the car is on. I know my previous STI, the plug was literally just kind of right here, which made it easier, but other than that, I mean, it wasn't too bad of an install. Down below here, the shift knob is aftermarket. It looks like, from what I did my research, is the racing shift knob. I know they are pretty spendy when it comes to the cost of this. My previous one I had on my STI was a Billet Works shift knob, and even that was like around $100. I think this is almost like $150 to $200. But other than that, it's pretty similar feel, not too bad. I mean, I think around here it's kind of like a suede finish, and overall feels great. Also the shifts, I'm assuming it's still OEM. There's no short shifter on there, so it definitely feels way different than my previous one, where it was really notchy and the throws were shorter. Now down here, I did do a little upgrade on this armrest cover here. This was leather when I first bought it, and then I bought like a Alcantara with red stitching to kind of replace that. I mean, it was kind of beat up, to be honest. For 2020 STI, the leather was kind of just like, I don't know what they did. There was kind of gouges on there or something. So I kind of got rid of that and bought this cover, did the whole replacement. And the cover, to be honest, was on sale. It was around like $12, so it wasn't too bad. So I replaced that to kind of clean that up, and kind of matches all the Alcantara all around the car too. So other than that, I think I kind of covered everything that I've noticed on the car that was done by the previous owner. Some things that I'm planning to do for the vehicle. Now, I don't really plan on going crazy as far as power, at least for right now. Just because I want to be able to enjoy the car, which I am so far, and you know, it's just so much bigger, newer too, so that's a plus for when I got this car. And based on my knowledge, the 2019 and up STIs came with the Type RA block. So my previous, the 2013 STI, when I did the motor swap or upgraded it, I mean, it does have a Type RA block, but instead we did put in the CP forged pistons on there. So with that being said, I don't know or what the capabilities of the Type RA blocks are. If maybe it's the same as far as 400 to the wheels is the safe mark for these cars, but I think I've seen some videos where people are able to push it beyond that. But obviously, I'm not that crazy when it comes to pushing, horsepower. I just like, keeping things simple, clean. I mean, a little bit more power is not too bad, when need, but I think this one is enough for, when I want it to go. Now, if I had to say what I would like to do with the car is pretty much keep up with the reliability, so obviously the car already has IAG AOS there. Another thing, since I haven't done an oil change yet, I want to see under the car, and maybe the previous owner installed a Killer B oil pan or maybe an IAG one. If not, that'd be another thing I would look into, along with the cylinder 4 cooling mod, and maybe possibly a Koyorad radiator. So those are probably the three things I would do as far as under the engine bay. And not only that, but they don't require a tune, so something pretty simple, keeping the car and motor healthy. Like I said, with the aesthetics, I'm doing the fog light bezel kit there, the tinting, and I think that is about it so far. That's all the ideas I have right now in my head. So nothing too crazy, but enough that I feel like it's tasteful and not like over dramatic, I guess. So with that being said, that's all the things I feel like I've covered in this video as far as what I want to do, what I've noticed with the car. So if you guys have any other questions, go ahead, comment below, subscribe, comment, like, and I'll see you guys in the next video.